Do you feel like this period right now is very similar to that 2010 to 2013 mini era? I sort of do.
I think it's like 1,000 times noisier.
No, I agree. It's similar, though, just in terms of the noise being so dominant. I do think it's noisier now. I think the data is noisier, which is actually makes it even tougher. The economic stuff and the market stuff is 100% wrapped up in the political stuff, and they can't be disentangled. And that's where one of the biggest sources of the noise. But that's why it reminds me so much of the European debt crisis. There was all this stuff about like austerity and the role of central banks and the U.S. approach versus what they were doing in Europe and German parliament and the Bundesbank. That's what makes this feel similar to then.
It's macro noise, which is completely
Macro
different
noise.
than DeepSeek noise or earnings recession noise or anything company related. I guess we did with the trade war in 2018, but COVID wasn't a macro noise. 2015 Brexit was a little macro noise, but it was across the pond. So I think we haven't really had a global macro noise event since the double dip 2011 era that you're talking about. I also think one thing that's different in a bad way is now everybody is on social media. It was still nascent back in the day. Now everybody's there.
Yeah.
Michael Antonelli had a great take. He said, hearing everyone's thoughts 24/7 is the worst thing to happen to society since the mosquito.
Do you remember Tom? He did like the research puzzle blog.
Oh, Bracky.
He did this really cool post called The Cave and the Stream. Might be the cave and the river. But the concept was sometimes it's best to stay in the cave and not be around the other animals. And then sometimes you go down to the river, like the watering hole, and as you're drinking, you hear from all the other animals that have gathered at the river to drink also. And you kind of need to balance those two things. You can't be totally cut off like a hermit and not understand what people are talking about. You also can't stand at the stream all day and listen to the chatter of 1,000 different animals. And one of the things that makes it so noisy, especially Twitter, is like, everybody has their own approach to investing. Everybody has different time frames. Pros mixed with retail, mixed with day traders, mixed with hedge funds, mixed with politicians who are market curious and they want to be in the conversation. If you're just like stumbling upon this, it's like, oh my God, 500 people in my timeline with 500 different opinions. What the hell do I make of this? And sometimes the answer is go back to the cave. This is not going to help you. Whatever information you're gleaning from other people here, it's just going to confuse you and make it worse. Back to the cave.